Hi. Hey, Brianna. What's your name?
My name's Natalia.
Natalia?
Yeah.
Brianna, maybe you could help Natalia work on her social skills. Yes, your question.
How long did it take to do a scene with Jared?
We shot a scene together. Very poor decision on the director's part. Jared is unconscious for 2 scenes, and Jared has a stunt double who was on set that day because there was also a stunt. And had he been lying face down or with his face obscured or something, the stunt double could have done the Jared work. Unfortunately, he was lying, his face unobstructed, and face up. So Jared himself had to be there. But that's bored Jared, which is the worst kind of Jared. And this part was my fault. In blocking rehearsal, I stood kind of close to the foot of, like, this is the end of the bed. I stood close to the end of the bed that he was lying on, and his feet were right there. And so, of course, during all of my coverage, his foot was just giving me a very happy ending. And it was getting very challenging, and we were not making headway, and we were almost 4 hours behind schedule. And so finally we got to a place where we could frame his face out of shots. And our first AD, Kevin, said, "Jared, get out." And Jared said, "No, it's important that I'm here. I need to be here for my castmates." And Kevin was so mad. He was like, "You get out of here." He grabbed him by the arm and he physically removed him and walked down the hall, the Meadow Letters hallway, pushing him, saying, "Get the fuck out!" I love it when Kevin gets mad. I love it also when Jared gets kicked off his own set. Thanks. There was a scene in which Jared and Jensen were being impossible, and eventually the director said, "Both of you out." And I was like, "Yeah, get out. I can't do my coverage. Get out." And they were like, "Ha ha ha," and they left. And then they got outside the door. This was like season 5, maybe late in season 4. And they got out, the door shut behind them. They were like, "Did we just get kicked off our own set?" And that was the first of many times that has happened. But it takes a long time. It takes a very long time. There was a scene in not too long ago where Jared, Sam tackles Cass onto the floor, and then is on top, straddling on top of me. And I had a conversation with Phil Screesha recently, who shot that episode, and there was one take that was about 15 minutes long. And by the way, if we just read the scripted dialogue, it would have been about 10 seconds. And literally 15 minutes of some very, very inappropriate footage was captured. Our camera operator had tears just streaming down his face. And then Phil was like, "That is going to be the entire gag reel. That was amazing." And we all had to like take a little break after and recover. It was just very funny material. And then I talked to Phil later, and he was like, "Yeah, so then I realized I would get fired, and you would both get fired if that footage ever saw the light of day. So I deleted the file." I was like, "Good call, really good call." Yeah, so to answer your question, if a scene is 10 seconds long, it takes at least 15 minutes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Misha. I often use you as an example of a wildly creative yet effective leader. When you look at the leadership professor in kind of a game.
Effective?
Effective.
Defective?
No.
We're talking about a different person, I think. Okay. You're a professor?
I'm a professor of leadership, so yeah, I would know. So.
You must be tenured.
I am. how do you see your role in it, and how do you see your role going forward when the show goes up the air?
It's funny. I guess I see myself as a little bit of an instigator. I'm somebody who often I do take issue with your leadership characterization, but
Okay.
that's something we can talk about later when you're on sabbatical. I'm somebody who likes to generate ideas. They often, like when I'm out for a run or something like that, things pop into my head and I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. And I love to generate ideas. I'm not great at actually implementing them.
Right.
But I discovered that there was like a bunch of people in this fandom who were good at implementing things. And so I could sort of like maybe have to generate some ideas, and then people would help me actually bring them to fruition. So there was a symbiosis between me and the fandom. And then as we started to work together a little bit, me and select volunteers who were helping with random acts or Gish or whatever, we would I would come up with more ideas that they didn't want to do. And we're really frustrated because it's like, yeah, but that would be tomorrow, and there's no way we can implement that, and please stop giving us your ideas. But I think that sometimes I don't, like, it's just my personality. I'm not great at boring down into the operations or the logistics of things, and
You're the visionary.
or the monkey wrench in the works, depending on how you look at it. But I feel like I could be much better at working with people than I am. But thanks for saying that. I guess I was also in the beginning when I got on the show. I think I was responding to something that I saw latent in the fandom. We would come to these conventions and sign, at the autograph table, people would come up with these incredible works of art, for example, or, mosaics and needlepoint portraits and incredible paintings and 3D sculptures. And you could see that there was this incredible creative energy that was going into creating these things. And there was, I guess I've always had sort of a political bent or something. Like, I think I have this bug, like I should try to do something, good for the world or something. And when, but I saw that there was like all of this energy going into making these things. I thought, well, maybe we could all channel some of that energy into, building an orphanage in Haiti after the earthquake, or doing, some big project like that, and see if we can channel that energy in a different direction. And everybody was game, and we did some really awesome stuff together. But for me, that really started by seeing that there was something there in the fandom.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'll let anybody be a professor now. Too far, I went too far. Sorry. Hi.
I'm Bella, and my question is, if you're part of a band, what would it be called, and who would be in it?
If I'm part of a band?
Yeah.
If I'm part of a band, who would be in it?
Who would be in it, what would it be called, and what instruments would you guys play?
Well, it's pretty easy for me. It would be me and my kids, and it'd be called Clam Let Go. Because we were sitting around talking about starting a band, me and the kids, the least musical 3 people in the world. And I was like, what should we call the band? And Mason's like, how about Clam Let Go? Just like that, as if like, it's kind of an obvious fit for us. So actually I saw a couple of people there was somebody in the photo office with a clam shell today, and they were grabbing on to me. It was as a clam, and I was like, let go. Very dramatic. And whatever the music would be, it would be something that has the most possible profanity in it, because that's what the kids seem to be magnetically attracted to. They love anything that has profanity in it. I have this really cute video of Mason who's sitting, we were just like getting out, stopping at the grocery store, and I have this cute video of Mason still sitting in her car seat, and she had overheard a song that played from my playlist by this musician named Stu. And there's a line in it that says, "Naked Dutch Peter in the kitchen does not wanna fuck you." And Mason's maybe 2.5 or 3. Naked Dutch Peter in the kitchen does not wanna fuck you. So sweet. She's very, very sweet. We have this little game sometimes that we play where we're a monster family, and there are vegetables there, and we're like, oh, we're gonna that's the monster talking to the vegetable. Oh, hey there, broccoli, little broccoli baby. How are you today? Hey, I noticed that you were really cramped up in that drawer there. Are you okay? Are you comfortable? Oh, wow, you look so green and fresh and full today. That's so nice. Hey, listen, so funny thing. We're gonna have to eat your face now. We did this recently, and Wes was like, maybe we shouldn't eat broccoli tonight. And Mason said, no, I think it's their time. She's got that little Thank you.
Hi, Misha. So first of all, I just want to say that I love you so much. You are literally one of the most amazing people in the world, and you inspire me every day to be the best person that I can be with random acts and all your charity and everything.
That is so kind of you. Did you happen to take a class with that woman?
No, I'm at Loyola University, Maryland. Roll Hounds.
Your school cheer, I'm sorry, I can't help it.
So I had another question, but it was too weird, so I'm going to ask a different one.
Okay, what was the question?
So my friends and I asked this question because we just have the weirdest sense of humor, and my friend just asked this one day, unprompted at lunch. What would you do if you woke up one day and you had hot dogs for legs? And apparently there is a correct answer.
Well, I'm not going to tell the story because I know Jensen wants to tell it tomorrow. But there's an incredible related story that I'm sure he will convey tomorrow. Somebody make sure to ask him about wieners, okay? Misha said you were going to tell a story about wieners. Yeah, maybe don't say that. I don't know. Well, like how big are they? Bite-sized hot dogs or just tiny little?
No, they're the size of your legs.
So regular
Unattached.
leg-sized, unattached?
Yeah.
So my legs are just not, I have no legs
Yeah.
in this scenario. Well, I certainly would not go for a jog, I'll tell you that. You're right, your friends are weird. I'll give you guys that. I think I would be disappointed, for starters, like, oh, this is a bad morning. Not only do I not have my human legs anymore that articulate at several joints, but also my legs are gone, except for they're right there, except for they're filled with nitrates. I guess they have a long shelf life. It's the plus side. They can give you trichinosis, maybe.
According to my friend, the correct answer is invite celebrities over and have a barbecue.
Not to give new meaning to the phrase, eat me. There's a little known fact about hot dogs. If you were on a desert island and you were given the choice to eat kale white bread, or hot dogs, and one food only for the rest of eternity on the desert island, which would be the correct thing to choose? And I'll tell you, it's hot dogs. You live longer with hot dogs. Isn't that shocking? You won't live that long, but you'll live longer with hot dogs. That's a true fact. The only true fact you'll get from me today. Is that where this conversation ends?
I mean, if you wanted to.
Okay, great.
Hi, Misha.
I just wanted to say, you're the reason, you and Castiel are the reason I got into this show. But my question is...
You have great taste. And I like your wardrobe.
Thank you.
Do your wings a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Can I see?
Yay!
Whoa! Nice work. Did you build that yourself?
I had my parents help.
Great. You have good and very handy parents.
Yeah, this is my first con.
Are they in aerospace? What?
This is my first con.
Oh, well, welcome. How's it going so far?
I love it.
Oh, good. Good. Have you hurt anyone with your wings yet?
I'm trying not to.
You're not directly answering the question.
No.
Okay.
My question is, with your angel blade, how it comes out of your sleeve, have you ever accidentally dropped it or got stuck in your sleeve while it's coming out?
All the time. Yep. It's very common for us to do like close up on me, and then the camera drops down to reveal the thing dropping out, and I'll be like, it's super not cool, and we have to do it again. Although I wish maybe at some point we could keep that in the show. Be like, Cass is like, hey, I got this. Hold on a second. Oops. Fuck. Nobody's taking a picture, right? I would do that. There's like one angle, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have held the microphone there. Or Tumblr.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you so much for making this an awesome con for me and my best
Happy
friend.
birthday, right?
Yes.
Yes. Happy birthday.
Okay. So this question is actually from Mary. She said, what scene have you always wanted to film but haven't gotten to?
What, do you have an idea of a scene that you haven't seen on the show but you want to see?
I would like to see you play lead guitar.
Okay. Great.
Shirtless!
What?
Shirtless!
Shirtless leg guitar? I don't know if that's like the most flattering angle. You can't get rolls when you do that. I'd rather do something like this with the right lighting. Okay. I'll think about that. I don't have a good answer for you. I actually do have an answer, but I can't tell you because I'm hoping that it ends up in the show. There's a scene that I would really like to see on the show, and I can't tell you what it is in there. Hi.
Hi. Okay, so I love you. You inspire me every day, just for that. And I just.
I'm blushing now. Thank you for saying that.
Oh my god. I forgot how to talk. If you could go back to when you, like, before you started Supernatural and, like, before you started the show, what would
And choose a different career?
that, or you could tell yourself something to inspire you, in your choice.
I don't know, that's a good question. I guess I spent a little bit of time when I spent too much time when I first got on the show, first started to see that there was this incredible fandom and that the show had this bubbling underground sort of cult phenomenon that was happening with it. When I first saw that, I started to get like anxious, like, oh, are they going to kill me? Are they going to get rid of me? Is this fleeting? Is this just going to be short-lived and I'll be a flash in the pan on the show? And I guess I sort of, I guess it would be nice to be able to go back and tell myself, just appreciate the moment when you have it. Because I actually think that I didn't get to enjoy that I was part of this really cool thing as much as I would have in the beginning, because I was so worried about losing it, which is a personality trait that I demonstrated in other areas of my life a lot of the time. I think it sort of takes me out of the present moment sometimes. I really like something. I'm often like, oh shit, I'm gonna lose this right while I'm enjoying it, you know, instead of allowing myself just to appreciate it. I'm trying to appreciate the show right now and everything that it's brought into my life and the opportunities it's afforded me. It's pretty incredible. And yet sometimes I've noticed myself seizing up a little bit. I'm like, oh God, what's gonna happen next? Is this all I'm ever gonna accomplish in my life? Which it is, but quite well. Yeah. So thanks for asking.
Thank you.
Yeah. How many conventions have you been to? This is your second? If you could go back to before your first convention and give yourself a piece of advice, what would it be?
I'd probably tell myself that, I don't know, I would say to be less nervous, but that's obviously not working out that well.
You're doing very well. You don't seem that nervous. I mean, I'm lying a little bit. You do seem a little nervous, but yeah. But you know, that's also it's sort of like what I'm saying. That kind of hindsight is almost impossible to ever implement because we don't have the ability to time travel, unfortunately. Yeah. Cass used to be able to time travel. Now he can't. Sucks. Cass used to be able to do a lot of things that he can't do anymore. Some of it is unexplained. Yeah. What happened to Cass? Well, I mean, there's a lot of times when I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't there a time when like Cass just put his hand up and like knocked the door down or the wall down, and now he's like, or he had like superhuman strength, and now he's like, oh, that stung. But we won't dwell on that. On set, we say, don't pull the thread. So we'll unravel. Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
I would just like to start off saying I love you. Castiel's my absolute favorite character. And who came up with the name Misha Migos?
Ben Edlund. It was a parody of Misha's Minions, which was a mistake I made when I got on Twitter. When I got on Twitter, I didn't know what Twitter was, but I could see that like people were calling their followers, and I was like, you guys aren't followers. You're better than that. You're minions. And then Misha's Minions stuck, and so for a while they were calling themselves and Misha's Minions, and then Ben Edlund was parodying that by calling my followers Misha Migos. But now everyone has forgotten about Misha's Minions, and people are always like, hey, I'm a Misha Migo, and I'm like, that's not a real thing. Thanks for asking. Hi.
Hi, okay. So I
Are you reading your texts right now?
No, I was recording.
Hold on. Somebody just sent me a funny gif. Hold on.
So I kind of did the Sam and Dean experience. I drove here all the way from Phoenix, Arizona.
OMG. Wow.
By myself, so that
Really?
was kind of fun.
And in climate week, no less. I'm just kidding.
So,
Carbon guilt tripping.
yeah, anyway, so that...
Wait, so how long did it take you?
7 days.
Oh, you made a whole road trip out of it.
An entire road trip out of it. I stopped at the Family Business Beer Company, and I stopped at a couple of places.
Awesome. Was it a great trip?
It was an amazing trip. Anyway, my question is, so you've influenced how Castiel is and who he is. I was wondering how Castiel has influenced you.
So influence is a loaded term. Jared and I did in Rome, where for some reason the term influence ended up being a veiled euphemism for, I'm trying to put this delicately, ejaculation. And we, being the juveniles that we are, thought it was very funny. So now that's where I am. Thank you. It's a really interesting thing to be playing a character for so long, for 12 years. And yes, my influence is all over Castiel. And I mean, there's a fair amount of my influence inside him as well. When I first got on the show, Castiel was like this tough warrior, no nonsense. You don't fuck with this guy, he's serious. And that was episode 1 and episode 2. Those first 2 scripts were already written before I was cast. And then very quickly the character sort of morphed into this socially awkward dork. And that was all me. I brought that to the table. They're like, we're gonna modify this character a little bit to accommodate our casting mistake. And that's how Castiel evolved. Castiel, I think, always, for all his faults, for all of his social awkwardness, for all of his inexplicably fleeting superpowers, he always tries to do his best. No matter what the situation, you know that Castiel has a compass that's pointing him toward doing the right thing and doing good. And that is obviously basically the opposite of me, but I do think about that, earnestly think about that from time to time. Like there are people out there like Castiel, who's not a person, who doesn't really exist, and I'm aware of that, who are trying to do the right thing all the time and they can count on to be that way. And I in all seriousness, take inspiration from him from time to time for that reason. It's a strange thing to play a character for so long because it starts to feel real. And I think Jared and Jensen would say the same thing. We've spent so many countless hours embodying these characters that they begin to feel like inside of ourselves. And we feel emotionally connected to them. There was a time when Jared and Jensen and I were talking about the end of the show and a dream that Jensen had about the end of the show where Dean drives the Impala out to a crossroads and meets a man who has a motorcycle and he trades keys with him. And he's doing that because he no longer needs a passenger seat because Sam is dead. This is a very vivid dream that Jensen had. And all 3 of us teared up as if the idea of Dean losing Sam was so emotionally poignant to us because we've lived with these characters for so long. As much as we fuck around on set and as much as we don't prepare and are totally unprofessional, we can't help the fact that these characters have become deeply emotionally intertwined with our own selves. And yeah, I don't know. So that wasn't related to your question. And I'm sorry for wasting your time. Those are 10 minutes you're never going to get back. You can see Stephanie for a refund. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard something very special. I want you to take this home with you. You just saw Misha Collins give a genuine answer. Never happened before. Ladies and gentlemen, push and shove your way out of this joint. You can't get out of here fast enough.
It really just proves that they really don't care what we have to say.
No, you know, we were going to say something nice about all of you, but you know what, screw it.
You guys.
I'm kidding.
No, we get it.
We weren't going to say anything nice about you.
We know you have somewhere to be.
Yeah, you got it.
More than this, but
Everybody off to the Tinkle Hut. They held it for the entire college thing. But now it's wee o'clock.
Richard,
Right.
what's the plan? Let me tell you what the plan.
Okay.
You're gonna get some autographs.
What are you doing?
Some photographs.
Are we done?
We have to go get our makeup on for the show.
Oh, time to glue on the toupees. All right, well, listen. Make no mistake. This little musical ensemble becomes the rock stars they truly are tonight, right here in the middle of this stage. Just having that fun. Make no mistake of missing it. It's going to be an epic one, it always is here in New Jersey. All right, go get your autographs, go get your photographs, go get your piegraphs, go do whatever it is you have to do, and we'll see you back here tonight.
See you tonight.
Saturday.
It doesn't say, that's the thing. It doesn't say where? Well, it says expo hall. I figured it says gold and silver. Right. No, gold and silver followed by. Right, gold and silver followed by. Alright, that's super.
You know how you turn off a video? I'm terrified of not saving the thing.